There is 6 full weeks of 2024 left, and I want to make sure that you use these next 6 weeks to really lean into your own goals and make sure that you're not only ending this year in the best way possible, but starting 2025 in the best way possible. So I want to welcome you to Unleashing Happiness. I am your host, Cecilia Hendricks, and like always, I am so super excited that you're here, and I'm super excited to be here. I ended up sick with the flu for a while, and so I had a lot of time laying in bed really being able to think about how I wanted to spend the rest of this year and making sure that I'm going into the holidays feeling like the best version of myself, going into 2025 feeling like I am so focused and so ready to take on the new year, and that I understand my goals and I know the things that I want to obtain and that I have a plan to get there. And as I was thinking about this, as I was just laying in bed sick for days, it occurred to me that with 6 full weeks, there's a really great plan to put in place to really focus on the goals, really make sure that you are aligning to the person that you want to be, that you're aligning your mindset, that you're aligning the way that you're feeling to this person that you want to be, and that you're also what is the word I'm looking for? Respecting the things that you want. So often, I think we have this desire that burns deep inside of us, and we try to deny it because we think it's not the right thing to do, or we think it doesn't make us a very good person, or we think that we're not worthy to have it, when we really take a look at the ways that we feel and the beliefs that we have. But that desire should be honored, and that desire and that want should be heard. There's a part of you that desperately wants something if you continue to have this type of desire. And if this is speaking to you, then I'm sure that you are kind of having these moments of like, yes, you know exactly what I'm talking about, where you have something. Maybe it's that you want to start your own business. Maybe it's that you want to tell somebody that you love them. Or maybe it's that you want to go travel the world, or you want to step into something that you fantasized as a child, like doing cosplay or something, or writing a book, becoming an author. And you're just kind of allowing yourself to minimize this desire because you either think it's not the right thing to do, you think that it's not the responsible thing to do, and you just kind of talk yourself out of it. And that desire should be honored. You should honor that part of yourself, especially when it keeps like bubbling up. And so over the next 6 weeks, I want to set up a plan for you to not only determine what it is you want, really pay attention to the intentions that you're setting, the way you're spending your morning, and allow you to step out of just doing techniques to get something and step into truly changing your life with the habits that you have, the routines that you have, the thought processes that you have, so that you can truly begin to love your life and honor the person that you are and the things that you want to experience. And while I'll be using the podcast to set up the 6 weeks and kind of let you know, here's what you're going to be working on this week, these are the things that I want you to think about, you can also join me on my YouTube channel, either by searching Cecilia Hendricks or Unleashing Happiness, where I'll be going a little bit deeper into the ways that you can stay motivated and really focus on what it is that you want, so that you can truly change your life these next 6 weeks and go into 2025 like, yes, this is my year, this is happening, and I have set everything up for me within the last 6 weeks of 2024. I'm sure maybe on TikTok you have seen things about your winter arc, and we're taking this just a little bit further. So this is truly your time to step into becoming this person that you want to be, and this next 6 weeks will give you the framework to do so. I have some of my own goals that I'm going to be working through. And so I'm going to share my process through my other social channels. So through YouTube, I'll go a little bit more into details about like what you can do and some activities that you can do. So make sure that you follow me there. And then on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts, I'll be sharing kind of my journey and the way that I'm stepping into some things that I have been afraid to really embrace, but have had a desire for a very long time. And so I am beyond excited. I think this is going to be a brilliant process, and I really hope that you will join me and that you'll also share your journey. So if you would like to share on YouTube, you can just leave a comment down below of how things are going for you and what you're going to be working towards. Share your excitement so others can feel motivated and excited right along with you. Or if you'd like it to be more private, or you're listening on a podcast hosting platform, you can always send me an email, unleashinghappiness@ceciliahendricks.com. One of the first steps in ever making any kind of change to your life, in improving the way that you're living, obtaining a goal, working towards something, anything, even if you want to use the words as like manifesting it, attracting it into your life, you have to know what it is that you actually want. And I don't always mean the specific item, right? It doesn't have to be, I want $10,000, or it doesn't have to be that I want this kind of job or this kind of house, but you can actually narrow it down to a feeling. How is it that you want to feel? If you are currently feeling down and tired and out, and just maybe that you are not really living a life that you love, you kind of feel that you are just destined to have things not always go your way. You're usually the one that gets kind of the crappy end of the stick, and you don't want to feel that way anymore. You want to be lit up. You want to feel excited about life. You want to wake up feeling good about the things that you're doing and the person that you are, and the person lying next to you, and the home that you have, and the job that you have, and what you're giving out to the world, and what you're giving to yourself, and how you're treating yourself. That also can be your desire. You can look at this feeling and say, I just want to feel good about the person that I am. I want to wake up excited that I get to live this day. I get to wake up and be excited about who I'm going to hear from today, who I get to talk to, who I get to see, the things I get to experience, the parts of my state or the world that I get to go see. There is true excitement in life when you are aligned with the person that you want to be, when you're aligned with the life that you quote unquote should be living or that you deserve to live. You are excited then within that life. I firmly believe we are not built and not made just to wake up, go to work, go to sleep, pay bills, and feel like every day is just mundane and boring. We should be experiencing more of life. We should be leaning into the things that we want to experience and we want to have. And I can tell you that from my experience, the more that I lean into living a life that is aligned to who I want to be, and I stop concerning myself with what I should or should not do, and I just do what lights me up, what excites me, the more that I wake up seeing the beauty in the very quote unquote mundane, normal, everyday things. I just had family in town for the weekend. Thank goodness I was over the flu in time. And we drove all over the state. I live in Colorado. I absolutely love it here. It is phenomenally beautiful. And we went and did so much stuff. So they were here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And if you're in Colorado, we went all the way out from, I'm in the south of Denver area. We drove all the way out to Glenwood Springs, spend time at the hot springs. We also went up to Red Rocks and we spent time in Fort Collins and then back out to the airport. So it was truly a whirlwind of time, but I recognized within that I had the best time. I haven't laughed that much in quite a while. Of course, having the flu was not helping me with laughing for a little bit. That really kind of took the wind out of my sails for a little bit, but it was so nice to have them here. And it was nice to be reminded of the importance of getting out and experiencing this state that I truly love. And maybe I don't have to drive 6 hours round trip in a day to be able to experience that like I did on Friday, but I still have things that I can experience that are close to me. The sunrises here are remarkable. The sunsets are freaking beautiful. And within 30 minutes, I can drive to a place to hike to see either. That is just absolutely amazing. And I want to make the time in my days to do that. I want to spend time doing that each and every day because it lights me up. It just makes me feel good. I love seeing the freshly fallen snow. I love watching my dog as he rolls in the snow because he absolutely loves it. And these are the small things that, to be honest with you, I lost sight of for a really long time. I didn't see those things. But the more that you start to live a life that is aligned to you experiencing and seeing the beauty in the everyday, the more that these things just really replenish your soul. It just feels good. Having family in town was amazing, without a doubt. I absolutely love my family. I come from a very large family on my mom's side. I absolutely adore them, but they are all out in Ohio. I'm here in Colorado. I definitely do not see them enough. And if they are listening, I hope that they know that I love them very very, very much. And I was so excited to have them here. I actually woke up this morning a little like, oh, it's kind of sad and quiet now in the house. I only have to make 1 cup of coffee instead of, I don't know, 4. And it was just so nice to have them here. So it was a really good reminder to me to make sure that I am putting time and effort into those types of relationships as well. I went to lunch with my dad and brother today. And so we were in downtown, little town south of Denver, and we went out to lunch at one of my favorite places. And it was so nice to be able to see them. So sometimes even the smallest moments of seeing somebody who matters to you can really touch your soul and touch your heart. And so in those moments, I like to make sure that I recognize what I'm actually experiencing and why it's meaningful to me. Even if it is just a brief drive-by viewing of somebody, sometimes that is all that you really need to just be reminded of how important they are to you. So the first step in your 6 weeks journey is to start to become aware of the things that you feel, the desires that you have that are bubbling up, the ones that maybe you're kind of ignoring. And the 3 questions that I always give to everyone when you want to start this process is that if you knew you only had 1 year left to live, without a doubt, what would you stop doing? And on the flip side of that, what would you start doing? If you knew that your time was limited, what is it that you would start doing? These questions kind of allow you to start really thinking of what those knee-jerk answers are for you and what you would want to experience in life. Who would you want to spend your time with? Who would you want to make sure they knew what they meant to you and they knew how important they were to you? What would you want to see? What would you want to do? What would you stop putting your energy and your focus into? And the third question is, how do you want to feel when you go to bed at night? And this seems like such a simple question, but I want you to really start becoming aware of the way that you're going to bed now. So use this next week to start to really lean into what it is that you want and becoming aware of your current beliefs around what it is that you want. Do you feel like it is something that you cannot have, that you do not deserve it, that it could never happen, that it's like pie in the sky and there's just no way that you're going to have that? I want you to really start to become aware of your beliefs around it and what it is that you actually want. Lay down tonight and wonder, okay, what do I want to feel when I go to bed? When I reflect back on my day, what is it that I want to feel? What is the emotion that I want to have? What are the experiences that if I lived the most wonderful, beautiful day, what are the experiences that I would have had? Get really, really curious with yourself about the feelings you have around that. So let's say that one of yours is that you want to feel loved. You want to have a loving relationship. You don't want to feel like you are kind of second fiddle. You don't want to feel like you're brushed aside. And you have a person that you know is very important to you. They mean a lot to you. And you would actually really enjoy to get to know them better. You would enjoy to spend more time with them. But as you go to sleep, instead what you're thinking is that you are maybe in a position that you're not enjoying. You have a job that you don't really like. You are single. You're going to bed alone. And this isn't what you want in life. It's just not. And so you could start to ask yourself, why do I feel like I'm alone? What are my feelings around meeting this person? What are my feelings around being with a person? If you have a specific person in mind, what is your feelings around that person? That you're not going to be able to be like up to their standards, that you're not good enough for them, that they would never look at you that way. What are the kind of feelings that you have around that? Because one of the first steps here is also becoming aware of the feelings that you have. What are your current beliefs? Having affirmations that are just repeated over and over and over, but are in conflict with your feelings, only is going to create conflict in the life that you lead. So what you're wanting to do is become aware of the actual feelings that you have. What are your beliefs around this desire? What are you thinking about? How do you feel about yourself? And what is being reflected to you currently with the desire that you have? Let's say that it's something that you really would like to start traveling more. You want to be able to see the world. You want to be able to tour around the United States and see more of it and not feel like all that you're doing is going to work and paying bills and barely get to travel even once per year. And so, but your feelings around it as you're leaning into really starting to recognize and become aware of your feelings is that it would be completely irresponsible. That your job requires you to be in the office 3 days per week. There is no way that you're going to get out and be able to travel more. You can't leave your job. That's completely irresponsible. You have a mortgage to be concerned about. You have a car payment. You have a dog. You have whatever it is. And so your feelings around this desire are that it's never going to happen for you. Although you have an actual yearning and it truly bothers you to think about not experiencing this. If I was laying on my deathbed right now, I could promise you that there are certain things that I would be upset that I have not experienced. And I don't want to end up in that position. I'm sure that we'll all have small things, right? Where it's like, oh man, I ended up not, going to Egypt or something along those lines. But I don't want to have big regrets. I don't want to have big what ifs when I get to the end of my life. No matter when that is. And I don't know when that is. That could be tomorrow for all I know. It could be in another 40 years. I have no idea, which means I want to make the most of my days now. I actually believe that the world is essentially an illusion and it's completely malleable, and we are able to experience and live the things that we want to experience and live, and that it can be done in perfect, beautiful harmony. But we have to get over our own mind. Because while the world may be an illusion, our experience of it, our feelings physically, emotionally, mentally, those are very real. We are experiencing this. So while you definitely have the ability to change your world into something that you enjoy more and that you are experiencing and having the things that you want, you have to get over your own mind first. You have to get over your own beliefs. You have to align to the type of person that you want to be, to the life and the experiences that you want to have. And sometimes that's a lot harder than people make it out to be. It's not just always repeating affirmations over and over and over. While I firmly do believe that those can, in time, create experiences that you want to have, there's also a better way to overcome these limiting beliefs that you have. And I'm not saying this as like a rah-rah throwing out empty words of limiting beliefs and aligning to what you want in your vibration and etc. I mean this on a true, even scientific scale, that you are training your brain what to look for. You are teaching yourself how to have the experiences and the opportunities that you want to have because you're training your brain how to look for them. And that's why awareness is so important. So for this first week, and I'll put some more info on my YouTube channel if you want to go follow along there. You can find me under Cecilia Hendricks or Unleashing Happiness, whichever you prefer. And I'll put the link down below for the YouTube channel if you want to go find that and subscribe so you don't miss out. And what it's going to do is I'm going to go onto the YouTube channel and give you kind of exercises that will continue to expand on what we're talking about today. Because for this first week, your focus should be on deciding what it is you want and becoming aware of the actual feelings you have around what you want. Let's say that you want to be a multimillionaire, but you feel like money is the root of all evil and everybody who's a multimillionaire is just a piece of crap and you don't want to be like that. Or you have a feeling that if you become a multimillionaire, that your family would want to mooch off of you and it would ruin relationships within your life. Start to really become aware of these feelings. I always recommend getting out a journal. Write down what it is that you want, and then just start listing out the things that you feel truly about that thing. And then you can start to unpack how to actually change your beliefs around it and how to align yourself to that life. If you have any questions about what we're going to do this first week, you can leave them down below if you're listening on YouTube, or you can send me an email, unleashinghappiness@ceciliahendricks.com, and I am happy to answer them on the next podcast episode. If I get any questions, I'll put that at the beginning of the podcast episode. It's kind of like a Q&A. If I get a lot, I'll probably do a YouTube video about it as well. So I would definitely recommend that you follow along there. There's going to be a lot of information there. And just remember, this next 6 weeks is truly going to be the most amazing 6 weeks if you follow this process. I can tell you without a doubt that if you go through this process and really start to uncover these unconscious and subconscious beliefs that you have about yourself and the things that you want, and maybe some of them you're already aware of, but you're like, how do I overcome this? I can't have this thing. I don't deserve it. It's not the right thing for me. Let's start to really lean into that, because maybe it's not you want this specific item. Maybe it's that you want the feeling that comes with it that could come into your world in some other way. We'll talk about possibilities possibilities, right? And an example of that is, let's say that you want a specific person and you're like, man, I think about this person all the time. I don't know how to get over this. Like, it's become obsessive or it's becoming too much for me. And you're like, but this is what I want. I want this person. Maybe it's not necessarily that person you want. You're just looking for love and companionship and to feel desired. Or if you're looking for a specific job and you're like, man, I have to have this job, XYZ. Maybe it's not necessarily the job. Maybe it's the freedom and the status and the success that comes along with it. And that's more of what you're looking for. So everything can come down to a feeling, but that's not to say that you can't have specific things that you want. So I hope that you will follow along. I cannot say it enough how excited I am for these next 6 weeks. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. And I am so happy that you're here along with me. I've got my own goals that I'm going to be working on, and I am really, really excited to go through this whole process with you. I think it's a beautiful process. It's a really beautiful outline. It's very pragmatic, which I think helps a lot of people. I know it's helped me in this journey. And I really hope that you have a beautiful, beautiful week. And I wish you nothing but the best.